Hey, this video is recording. It's the 4th of January, and wanted to talk a little bit about the over the board tournament I did today. It went well. I got second place, but vastly different than any online chess and chess.com. And I saw some stuff there that made me proud, that I would say went really well. What do I mean by that? You know, kids that as the game got tough, they were shaking, they were doing their thing, and they kept playing. I had a hard time not shaking. I like talk about that for a minute. Is kind of the psychological aspect to playing over the board chess that I was not fully going to be aware of. Um, and it started at the Memphis Chess Club. I play a lot of chess.com online chess. I don't do a lot of over the board, especially rapid. So it was 10 minutes, no increment, and learned a lot even about the way the tournament goes, the format, the people that help out. Big thanks to the people there. As I've kind of moved into this region, for the time being, is I wanted, let's find a chess club. We're playing a lot of online chess. I got some goals that I want to obtain, and one of them was, starting over the board chess. So we went down and grab a coffee beforehand. That might have been a bad idea. I say that because your nerves get rattled. You actually get rattled. And the most destructive thing that I've ever seen is when you come in and the first thing that happens is you sit across the board from under 10-year old, and it's like what's gonna happen, and then they open, and you're like, oh my god, I'm about to play a real game with this kid and who is way better than me. And that was eye popping. From a preparation standpoint, I prepped 4 openings through the week. One was the Sicilian, which I've gotten decent at. The problem is there's so many lines. There's so many lines that you can come out of there. The second one was Carl Khan, which many people believe that beginners, that's like a go-to. Like, let's play the Carl Khan, and run it from there. So for white, Saragossa, which is kind of a reverse Carl Khan. And that line actually won me a game today. And then the London, which won me a second game. So I was very good with white, and very bad and drawish with black. But that got me second place. And it was unique because it was literally, like a 8-year-old, myself, old, a 6-year-old in third place, and then like a 12-year-old, and then you got like a 42-year-old come next. So it was, you know, eye opening, to just see that. Even to sit down and the first thing that a 6-year-old asks you is he looks up and goes, "Dawg, you're big. Like, you're small. Thank you." Like, that's a wild thing. Is why that was his initial thought. It wasn't like concentrated on what he was gonna do. It was, "Oh, you're a big guy." Like, and I'm not even big. It's just like that was his initial reaction. Um, and then to go into to start the game and watch a 6-year-old utterly dismantle you know everything that I thought I knew in my head. Like, there were you know five really really good games, and then some not so good games, and he was one of the not so good games. Um, it seemed like everything that I did, and it was unique because where I don't feel the 10-minute pressure when you're pressing that clock, there's pressure there. And they're so disciplined. They would sit there and just look at me. Oh, he didn't press his clock yet, so I'm just gonna sit and wait and let his time run down. And I would, because you're so used to just online, you make a move, clock changes, make a move, clock changes. Uh, it's an aspect of it that you don't think, and the clock becomes real. I've had some really high pressure games online that not being online, never would have thought that would have happened. But it was different. There was psychology to it, that that I don't think you can prep for just playing online games. There's a camaraderie to it, which is a weird way to say that. You really get to play these games with all these guys. I got to talk to the dads, the moms, the kids, the aunts and uncles, and that was a lot of fun. And the first time I said "young man" out of my mouth, I really felt old in that room. And I also felt like that this is a cool place to be. But sitting down for that first game, I tell you, the clock plays havoc on your mind. Coming out of there, my nerves were shot. My nerves were shot in a way that I don't think my nerves were shot. I kind of struggled moving around. I struggled kind of thinking straight. And as the nights kind of got on, and I prepped for this, I always wondered, like watching Levy or Hakura or any of these guys do post reviews of their chess matches. Why do they look tired? It it wreaks havoc on your mind. It does a trick on you because it is you're sitting down. You're having to shake it out after every game is the best way I know how to describe it. And hopefully that piece of it will get better over time. I plan on going back Thursday and then playing, I think, a 60-minute game. And then Friday and Saturdays, much shorter time controls with some increments, which I'll do a lot better with the increments. The time controls straight stick, 10-minute rapid games, no increments. I got down into time scramble, just like moving. Because I spent a lot of time. Time is a weird, fickle thing during those games. It's not the same way that you may just perceive time because you're staring, you're calculating, you look up, and all of a sudden, a minute, 2 minutes has elapsed, and you're just like, oh, okay, let me scramble around and figure it out. So hopefully, come Thursday and Friday, I'll bring back the actual games. I'll review them. But it was interesting, and here we are. We're on the way. This has been one of the goals. I've got the next couple years to go through this and kind of integrate myself with the chess community down in this region and figure out where I'm going to go with things and how I'm going to do. And now, chess opening, preparation, stuff like that, really got a good tempo for that. Now it's almost like I got to now do intelligence collection on my opponents as that starts coming up. So we'll be looking at that. How do you do that? How do you review these? Can you go on chess.com and figure out this player? I'm sure that you can link them somehow or another from one thing to the next. But it was interesting. I was kind of flabbergasted by the whole experience. It was a good experience. I felt good about it. And I really hope to continue down this experience. But yeah, so that's how my first over-the-board tournament went. Second place, I got a little ribbon. I hung it up in my car because, it's weird as a grown individual to be getting handed a little, kind of a ribbon that looks like, something from elementary school field day. And, and there was one other piece that was kind of amazing is I couldn't stop smiling during the games. And it probably made me look like a psychopath But I was smiling because I'm playing this game, and this young individual is whooping my butt, just utterly kicking my butt. Um, and that was the amazing part, is to watch them do that. So it was great. So as always, stay out there, play, create, and engineer. I'm going to be on this ride with everybody else, and we're going to continue doing the things we love to do and getting better at it. And hopefully this will continue to grow. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy out there. And that's my recap for my first Over the Board tournament.